guest is someone who is challenging the way most leaders think about AI and making a compelling case that if you don't get your data strategy right first, your AI strategy will gonna simply fail. Welcome, Dr. Markus. He is a data and an AI strategy expert with deep dive experience helping organizations build the foundation they actually need to make sure the AI work. Welcome, Dr. Markus, to the podcast. How you started your career in the field of data strategy and AI.
Okay, so we moved from simulating cancer studies with 10 people to simulating it with 10,000 of people. And that was the shift where I learned that with 10 people, you can still look manually on the data. When you have cancer data from 10,000 of people, you can't look on any of them manually anymore. You have to trust the algorithms, have your quality checks and tests in place, and you need a strategy how to do that. You can't just do it with Excel anymore. And yeah, that's the way I came really into this big topic about data. And then over the last 20 years, I'm leading data and AI teams in European companies and now started my own tech startup.
Thank you so much. So many organizations rush into AI because of the hype, but they have noted that a successful AI strategy is entirely dependent on a mature data strategy. So how can any organization make sure the data foundation is right before they start executing the AI strategy?
When we look at companies today, especially my focus is on European companies, they see that there is AI and everyone wants to do AI. And for most companies, it starts with AI as a chat prompt, and then some companies use it to automate their processes, which is great. But most companies find out this accelerates us a bit in the execution, but that is not creating business value for us. And I'm on the side, I'm predicting that the hype is over in the next 6 months because too many companies will find out. We pay a lot of AI licenses and tokens. We got a bit faster, but the impact of business value is probably worse because we are not focusing on our product anymore. We are focusing too much on AI. I see the companies who really make a difference and are able to create business value out of artificial intelligence are the ones who are able to connect the power of AI to their product, to their pain of the users, and to the data they have. And therefore, for me, it's super important that your AI strategy is aligned to your business and data strategy. Because data is describing your business, how your business is working, how users convert into paying customers, how they use your product, how the marketing works, how the money is flowing within the company. When this data is available to the AI, we can efficiently change the business processes, the product, and the results for the users. And then we create business value out of using AI. And therefore, we need a good foundation of data.
How to make a good foundational data?
That's a great question. And bad news for you, there is not one answer which solves that for every company because every company is different. For me, when I'm getting into companies, my first point, what I'm asking companies is, what data do you have? And if a company can answer that, you're already top 15% of the companies. Most companies answer me, yeah, I have the data in the data warehouse, which is great. But if I ask you, what data do you have in the data warehouse? It's mostly like, yeah, we have data in there. Yeah, but what data? Do you have marketing data, finance data, user data, product data? So you need to know what data you have in there, with which entities you have it in there, with which history, which time frame. You have good quality of data in there. And there are tools on the market like data catalogs, which can track this. But you need to know which data you have in there, because then you can use that data to create value out of that. And also you can connect the AI to your data catalog today and ask the AI what kind of data I have. But you need that kind of semantic of the data available. And a lot of people call it enterprise level data management. If you have that in place, I then call it a good data foundation.
Amazing. So, in simple words, you are suggesting that if you know about your data, then you have a good foundation about it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And what can be if anyone knows about the data? Okay, this we do have it, right? So, what can be the other prospects we should be looking at in order to make sure our data foundation is right?
So, another aspect is if the data foundation is right, but no one in the company knows how to use the data or can't access the data, it doesn't serve you. A lot of companies have strong data teams who create a nice data warehouse or a nice data lake, and it's a very siloed department of experts. But this is not going to scale. Today, you have to build data-driven organization. You have to educate your organization on data literacy. What does that mean is everyone in the company should be able to access the data and to work with data. And I give you one example. I was working in a tech company, big marketplace. We had a massive amount of data. And there was a team of 3 people who organized the traveling for the management. So it was the travel team. And we enabled them having their data, not in Excel anymore, having their data in the data lake, accessing the BI tool. And by using that, they understood we are wasting so much money by wrongly booked hotels. We can optimize the process, use another booking system, and that made the booking much easier and saved the company about 30% of annual travel costs. And this is an absolutely edge case. No one thought about the 3 people travel team, but it had a massive impact by enabling them being data driven.
So that's a very, very interesting perspective you have shared. Next, I want to ask about where do you see the biggest gap between the organizations? What organization think AI will gonna do for them and what actually it delivers on the
Okay. So when we look at AI, what we're doing with AI today, and there are a lot of studies from Anthropic and OpenAI about the use cases. And this is mainly for writing social media posts, answering emails, and for coaching and therapy. So these are the top 3 use cases which we see in studies AI is used for, which is great. But that is mainly taking ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, your chat window, asking the Gen AI, the large language models, a question and getting an answer back. So it's all about that chat-driven conversation, which is great and helps a lot of people, but it's not making a big impact on your business value. And the next step is I see the people who are able to use AI automation. So which can use AI to automate their processes. But the real difference is then when people start creating AI agents which are doing the work for them. And I give you one example. If you go today on a website where you have then the chat support, it's a simple chat. You chat with that one. You get answers from the FAQ page. But it can't solve anything for you. If it gets to a complex problem, it hands you over to the human support team, which works, but this is not where AI creates business value. If you have a real AI agent in there, which can take tasks by himself, like in the back end, deleting something or changing some information, then we are creating real business value. And this is something I think we will see a lot in the next 12 months, that companies start using AI agents which make decisions which are before done by the humans, but in the future will be done by the AI agents, and which will change the business processes.
So you have stated some use cases. Will the companies trust AI to create something or to delete something from their core business information?
I have written a LinkedIn post some days ago, and it was stated we are still micromanaging the AI because we are not trusting the AI. We try to control everything within the AI. What we don't get that very often the AI knows more than we do, has a much bigger perspective on it, and could make decisions much better than we humans can do. And this is something where that's my second big bet for the next 6 to 12 months. We will see a massive change how we trust in AI and what providers like Google or Anthropic will do to increase the trust in AI. And I always have the example for the managers, especially we have a lot of C-level managers listening here. A lot of as managers have an assistant who is doing work for you, scheduling your meetings, organizing your flights, preparing your meetings. You can micromanage your assistant. You can control everything. It will cost you more time than doing it by yourself. If you have built up trust over years in your assistant, the assistant is doing all the work for you and just gives you the real input you're required. And then it's a real benefit. And this is the same way where we have to go with AI. We have to trust AI, that the AI is doing the work for us and just gives us the important input, the summary of the day, what the AI has done. And what we have to find out, and this is where I see the very interesting case for a lot of new startups, to build tools which helps the human to trust more into AI.
So I'm following your previous question about the agentic AI. And I have another question from that conversation. How to identify the cases for the agentic AI? Because right now, the C leaders are facing that we want to go with AI, we want to do something, but we don't know what to do, which will have the business value.
You don't know where to start, sit down, create a list what you all have in mind and think how you can do that with AI. And then decide which one is the one where your team, your people think that they can really do that. I want to give one side topic here because I think it's important to mention security and compliance. We have to be really careful on that because AI is still a statistical model and AI might not evaluate everything correctly.
Thank you so much for sharing your perspective on that. Okay, so if anyone wants to start their AI journey, all right, so what should be the step-by-step approach for them to make sure they have the right strategy in place for data and for AI?
Okay. My first step is, and this is really an honest recommendation, get your executive team for one day in an AI bootcamp. Let the executive team build, for example, with Claude, co-work, and build really AI processes for themselves that give them the experience how easy it is today to build something with AI, to build a small app, or to build a website or a small game. Well, with my last executive team, we have built this, you might know this old game Snake, which everyone knows from the first time with their phone. We have built that with the executive team. And that was such a great experience for this executive team to see that you can build this simple game with 3 prompts today. And I'm not telling executive teams that they have to become coder now, learn to code. That's probably the worst idea we can do. But having that experience that the processes and the way how we do work today is massively changing the last 12 months and will change even more the next 12 months. This is something every executive has to see by himself and create that experience by themselves. So put your CFO, your CEO, your CTO, your CIO, your chief data officer for one day in a training where they learn about AI and how this is working different today. And if you have done that, then get your mid-level leaders on a table and get a strategy for data and AI aligned to the business strategy. Ask the business question and how AI can help, and then look where we have to close the data gap. And my high recommendation, don't create a business strategy, an AI strategy, and a data strategy. Don't create 3 different strategies. Create one. Create one business strategy which has AI in the core, which sees AI, the data is the fundamental, which is required to deliver all of that, and then execute against one business strategy. That does not mean that we have a data and AI execution plan for the company, which is another document, which is the step-by-step document plus milestones, how we reach the business value. but have an overlaying business strategy where we focus on.
So let's talk about the adoption now and culture, right? So we have created the application on which is also producing the business values, but people are very reluctant to use the new infrastructure or the agents which we have built for them. So how to make sure to build that culture inside an organization that can easily adopt the solutions which we are creating, and that can also help to increase the culture that they can think of more use cases what AI can do. Yeah.
Definitely, a lot of people are concerned that AI will replace them and will take them away their roles. And people are frustrated about that. They are concerned. They have fears. And if people have these fears, they will not use the AI tools. You have to make it different. You have to help people to understand that AI is not here to replace them. AI is here to support them. And by that, if you're making that mindset shift in your company, AI is here to support you, to make your job easier, to focus more on the core problems and not keep you on doing all the boring stuff day by day, then people are getting open to AI, start exploring, start testing, and new use cases will grow by themselves. The strong organizations I see, which are able to start or are able to do the shift from a fear-driven AI enablement to a really supportive AI-driven enablement. So they don't have a challenge to find use cases. They have a challenge with the high number of use cases they find to do a good prioritization.
Amazing. I think that's very, very important, because the moment when they will make efforts in order to bring in more ideas, then more business value. Because what we discuss in the business level meetings versus what is the, the person, the doer is facing, that can be sometimes, that the standing should be there. And if the ideas can be brought from all different levels, from the thinker, from the doer, from the executor side of it, then definitely we can achieve as many cases as we want.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And we talked a lot over the last 30 years. We are talking about a data to business gap. And the most efficient way to close the data to business gap is data literacy. So training your organization to be able to talk about data. And I predict that we will soon have AI to business gap. What we talked now so far is all about AI literacy, and that we are enable the organization to talk open and honestly about AI without fear. And if we are able to create a company culture where AI is in everyone's minds and everyone is talking about it, we are not going to create an AI business gap.
I love this terminology, AI to business gap.
Yeah.
I heard it for the first time. It's a very, different conversation we can have it. And because context, if we are writing in emails also, if you are writing any regular, if you are doing any regular thing from ChatGPT, from Claude, right? So if we don't give the right context, AI will not gonna answer that. And business context is very important to give. Then only AI can help. And that AI to business gap relates to it, and needs to be taken care of in advance. It should be in strategy, that how we will give the full context of the business.
Yes, exactly. And at the same time, it also brings a kind of risk in there when we don't have a clear business proposition, a clear business strategy. We can't put that into the AI, and then we can't use the power of AI.
All right. I think thank you so much. And I really enjoyed the conversation.